Hey, Pedro.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I gotta turn my. There we go. Whoops. There you are. Norma's on her way. She just texted me, said she'd be in about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully we'll have two. Excuse me.
Do you feel sick?
No, I just got cough. Sinusy mess. My sinuses are worse in the fall than they are in the spring. I don't know why.
Huh.
So maybe it'll hurry up and turn cold weather and it'll get better. I hope.
Yeah.
And stay cold and maybe even snow.
Really?
Yeah. Don't you want it to snow?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
You're not quite ready for it.
No, I'm not ready. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the snow, huh? Got to plug in.
Yeah.
I know. That's the bad thing about using the phone all day, and then then it's all run down at night. So.
Yeah. So, what the page for today? What the page for today? I'm missing you for the last 2 weeks, I think.
That's right, you were. What we did last week, though, we didn't do anything in the book. We did some scrambled sentence, jumbled sentences, and we did some wrote some sentences and wrote a short paragraph, and and we did some more on prepositions.
Already.
I was going to do some more on prepositions tonight, maybe. The ones that are in, at, and on. They're the hardest ones. Then we might talk a little bit about sentence structure. I didn't want to start the next lesson until the week after Thanksgiving, because if we start and have the lesson, read half of it, and then it'll be 2 weeks before we get to do the rest of it. So I think we're going to do this tonight, do some review and talk about some sentence structure. Because in January, we're going to do half the class on the lesson that's in the book, and then the other half the class we're going to talk about writing paragraphs or writing sentences, then writing paragraphs, and then move into writing stories. Say 3 or 4 paragraphs. So we haven't done much in really writing. We've done the scramble sentences, and we've talked about prepositions, and we've talked about some like adjectives and adverbs and things like that, but we really haven't put it all together. And we'll start doing that in January. But in December, in January, in December we'll do the book. We'll do the lessons in the book, and in January we'll start writing.
Okay.
It'll be fun. Miss Judy fixed a book, so I'll have some things that to show you about how to write a paragraph. It'll be a little bit easier than just sitting down and writing it and then me going over and fixing it. It'll give some ideas on how to write a paragraph. So hopefully that will help. So and then of course next week is Thanksgiving. We won't have class next week, but we will the next week, and that will be December, won't it? Yes, next week's the 26th. The next class won't be till December the 3rd. We'll skip next week. If it was last year this time we were having our Thanksgiving meal, so we won't get to do that this year. So you'll just have to have Thanksgiving with your family next week. Do y'all do Thanksgiving?
I don't know yet. Maybe no, maybe
no, maybe yes.
maybe perhaps. Yeah, because
you'll have some good food, whether it's turkey or whatever, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because some of my family is it was sick like about 2 or 3 months ago about
Oh,
about coronavirus. Yeah.
oh, they had coronavirus.
So probably they don't want to meet with many people.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Are they doing okay?
Yeah,
The
we
ones
did
that were sick?
okay. Yeah, no. Stephanie was a little cough like you, but she's okay now. Like last week.
Ah, well, good, good.
Yeah.
I've known several people that have had the virus. Some have had it bad, and some have had just a light case, just a
Yeah.
cough, and that's
Cough.
it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, you'll stay safe and you won't get it. So I'm trying to stay safe. I don't go to Walmart. I haven't been to Walmart since March the 13th.
Oh really?
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't. I do. I order online and I go
Uh-huh.
pick it up, and I just go and pick it up, and
And
they put
that's
it in
it.
the
And
back of
that's
my
it.
car.
And that's it.
That's easy though. That is easy.
Yeah. 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 I don't like it. I go Walmart and walking around and yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer
You prefer it online?
I prefer yeah. I don't want to
Yeah.
stay I don't want to stay in home there all day. No, 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 no,
No,
no.
I don't either. I don't either. I do my Kroger order that way too. I do it online and I go pick it up.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to go in Kroger. Only store I've been in is I went in Aldi's a couple of times to get
Uh-huh.
some things because you can get in and out real fast in there.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, and I've been to the dollar store a couple times. That's the only places I've been.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's okay. That's all right. I don't miss it much. So, but okay. Well, Miss Norma said she was going to be on, and we'll give her another couple of minutes.
Okay.
She
That's
did
fine.
text me and told me she was going to be on tonight, but
Uh-huh.
and I haven't heard from Sonia. I don't know. Let me be sure I didn't get anything from her. No, I don't have anything from her. I don't know. Rami's not going to be on. He's still at work, he said.
Okay.
He won't be on.
Where he work?
Somewhere in Clarksville. I'm not sure. It's let me see if I've got his. I think it says on there. It doesn't say, but it's somewhere in Clarksville.
Okay. So
I'm not sure. Clarksville. We have several students that are in Clarksville that are from Egypt, like him. They're in
uh-huh.
the lower classes, but there were
Okay.
several. I didn't know they had a lot of people from Egypt down there, but I guess
Oh
they
really?
do. Yeah, yeah. We've had about 6 or 7, but we don't have many that are getting on of our old students.
Uh-huh.
We don't have many that are getting on Zoom like y'all. My class is the only one that's had 100% getting on.
Okay.
So I don't know. We may not be able to do it in after Christmas. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll keep our class going, but I don't know if the other classes will go because they don't have very many people. Some of them don't have anybody. Some of the teachers don't have anybody that shows up at night. So we may kind of just do a couple of classes. I'll keep my class because y'all come. I mean,
Uh-huh.
y'all are pretty much here if you can be here. So I haven't had a night that I didn't have anybody. I've had somebody every Thursday. So but we'll just see what happens with the others.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't know if Miss Norma got lost. We'll go ahead. We're going to go ahead and start with our Miss Judy did us a oh, I got to get my I didn't want to do that. There we go. Miss Judy did us another devotion, and we're still in Genesis. And this week's devotion is on Abraham and his son Isaac. When he went to offer him as a sacrifice, he did what God said and put his son on the altar to sacrifice him. And of course, God provided a lamb, and you can see the little lamb or sheep over in the bushes, where he didn't have to sacrifice him, but he was willing to do that. He was willing to do what God told him. So the Bible verse for tonight is, you were willing to offer the Lord your only son, and so he makes you a solemn promise. I will bless you and give you such a large family. And he did end up with lots of sons and daughters after that. So, okay, whoops. Now, on the, let me go back to share screen and get that off, because we're going to look at, I'm going to look at our preposition review real quick. And the prepositions we're going to talk about tonight are in, on, and at. They're the ones that I have some worksheets on. And the word, and this is usually they are used with time or location. And with the time, you're going to use like in centuries, in decades, in years, in months, in weeks. It's very broad and very general. The location to in would be like in a country, in the city, like in Springfield, in the neighborhood, like in my neighborhood. It's just broad places. Now, to get more specific, when you're going to use on, and on is like on Monday or on Tuesday or on the weekend, like let's meet on Saturday. That's more specific as to when you're going to see someone. In the location, it's a little bit more specific, like street and avenue. I live on Main Street, where when you talked about in, it was very general. I live in London, or let's meet in April. Not very specific about when you were going to meet or where you lived. But when you want to be more specific, you're going to use the word on, like let's meet on Saturday, or I live on Main Street. Now, when you're going to get real specific, you're going to talk about hours, like let's meet at 12 o'clock. You might want to say, let's meet at 12 o'clock on Saturday. But the specific is going to be the time that you're going to meet. You want to be specific with the address and specific location. You're going to use the word at, like I live at 32 Main Street. When you're using on, you just said, I live on Main Street. Well, Main Street may have 50 houses on it. Nobody would really know where you lived except on that main street somewhere. But if you want to get real specific and tell them, you use the word at. I live at 32nd Main Street or 32 Main Street.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Clear as mud, right?
Yeah. So it is for general, and the on is for is more specific.
Right.
Specific. I'm writing. Sorry.
Here comes Norma. Let me let her in. Hang on. Hang on. Here comes Norma. Hey, Miss Norma.
Hi, Miss Phyllis.
How are you?
I don't know what happened. They not let me enter your class. They say waiting, waiting, and waiting. You have a wrong
Oh
password.
no.
I'm waiting and waiting.
Oh my gosh. Well, it just now dinged for me. It must be slow for some reason.
Yes, I don't know what happened, but well, let me start to my
Okay.
video. Wait.
Yep.
Yes,
There's your whoops. Well,
it's
we
good.
saw there
Yes,
you are.
yes,
We see you now.
yes, I see you.
Where
I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. So they say the Monday was the same problem. I can enter on my class. I enter our class like 6:10. Every time we are in the 5:50. But I don't know what happened with the internet.
I don't know. I think more people are on Zooming classes and
Yes,
meetings
yeah,
and
this
things
is
like
the
that.
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes it hard sometimes. So,
Say, I
well,
don't know
we
what
have just
happened. I said, I haven't the wrong. No, it's the same. It's the same. I'm wait because the last time Mrs. Norma was blocked. They say, please wait 30 minutes. I said, no, 30 minutes. I get.
well, we're glad you made it. So,
Yes, I'm here.
okay.
In
And
on an ad. Okay.
I know Rami's not going to be on. He's at work, and I haven't heard from Sonia or Maria, so I don't know.
Okay.
They might show up. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
We have just started, and we are actually reviewing the prepositions in, on, and at.
Mm-hmm.
Those prepositions are usually used for time and location.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly in review again. When you're going to talk about something in general, you're going to talk about time or location in general, you're going to use the
Okay.
word in.
Uh-huh.
It talks about centuries, decades, years, month. Like you might say, let's meet in April. You don't give a
Okay.
day or time. You just say, let's meet in April next year or something. If you're talking about location, it's going to be country, city, or neighborhood. Like I live in London. Well, that's pretty general. London's
Okay.
a pretty big place, so you could live anywhere in London.
Mhm.
If you want to be a little bit more specific, you're going to use the word on. With time, it's going to be like on days or weekends, like let's meet on Saturday or let's
Okay.
meet on the weekend.
Okay.
That's a little bit more specific than the whole month of April. Okay. And if you're going to be a little bit more specific with location, you're going to talk about the street or the avenue. Like I live on Main Street. That's more
Okay.
specific than I live on London. You've narrowed it down to a street. You're getting more specific. Okay. Now, if you're going to get real specific or very specific, you're going to use the word at.
Okay.
If you're going to tell somebody what time you're going to meet, you're going to use hours. Like, let's meet at 12 o'clock. You could say, let's meet at 12 o'clock on Saturday. If you're going to be specific about address and location, if you're giving your address and want to be specific, you say, I live at 32 Main Street. That tells you exactly where you live. Main Street, when you're using the word on, I live on Main Street, there may be 50 houses on Main Street. Okay. Nobody knows what house you live in, but if you want to be specific, you're going to tell them what house. I live at 32 Main Street. So they'll know exactly where to come to your house. Okay. That's a little bit of review on in, on, and at. I've got some more practice sheets for them. I did email them to you all. You can look at them later. We may go over a couple of them tonight. Whoops, how did that get so big?
It's
That
good.
down a little bit. Okay. A preposition is a word that describes where someone or something is. Common prepositions can be like over, under, between, after, during, behind, on, off. There's lots of prepositions, and they are naturally standard expressions being used, but this will only deal with these prepositions in general. Now, this has a few of examples for at, in, and on.
Mhm.
If for time and place, and that's what they are used for. If you're talking about time or if you're talking about a place. At, okay, let's see. At is when you're talking about a specific time or precise time or exact time, like at 7 o'clock. Or at 10:45 a.m., at noon, at dinner time, at bedtime, at sunrise, at sunset, at the moment. Those are all specific times. If you're talking about the place, you're gonna talk about specific places like at the corner, at the bus stop, at the door, at the bottom of the page, at the end of the road, at the entrance, at the crossroads, and at the front desk. They all tell you specifically where you're going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In is used for months, years, centuries, long periods of time, like in July. That means the whole month of July. In the winter, that could be January, December, January, and February. It could be several months. In the summer, in 2013, in the 1980s, in the next century, in the Stone Age, or in the past and in the future. Those are all very, very general. They talk about long periods of time. If you're talking about places, in the garden, in Manchester, in England, in a box, in my pocket, in my wallet, in a building, in a car. Very general. For on, whoops, get that off. There we go. For on talks about days and dates. On Saturday, you're getting a little bit more specific. On Saturday, on Monday, on July the 11th, on March the 23rd, on the 23rd of March 2013, on Christmas Day, on my birthday, on Independence Day, on New Year's Day. And if you're using it for places, on the wall, on the ceiling, on the door, on the cover, on the floor, on the carpet, on the menu, or on a page. So that's kind of a little bit of a review of at, in, and on. This was one of them that we used before. It didn't have, where is it? Here we go. This has got some of the other prepositions that can be used in sentences and where you will use those. I sent those, I think, in an email a month or so ago to you.
Yeah.
If you don't have them, I'll be glad to resend them to you. But this talks about or tells you where you would use them and give some examples of the usage of those prepositions. And I won't go over all of those because we're just going to talk tonight about on, in, and at is the one we're talking about tonight. Now the, let's see, let me get this one off and bring up what I have. Well, Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Okay, come on, computer. My computer's moving very slowly. I'm sorry.
Yes, okay.
It is very slow.
Yes.
Okay, I sent you this in an email. You should have, there should be
I got
8 of these practice sheets. We're going to look at a couple of them tonight and maybe do a couple. The others you can look at and practice there at home. And we may do some more a little bit later. I won't bore you to death and make you do all 8 of them tonight. That would be horrible.
Yeah,
That wouldn't be very much fun for y'all. But there's several of them on there. Let me get them up here and I'll show you the different ones. Well, I just plopped that one right off of there. Okay, there we go. Like I said, they're all with preposition with the at, in, and on. This one has even some little reminders at the top. I'll show you all of them and then we'll go back and do a couple of them. This one has, oh, that one doesn't have, that one's more. I didn't put these in order, so I'm sorry. That's my fault. I should have put them in order. This one is in, at, and on, and it does have some little reminders also. And this one is in, at, and on, and it's got the little reminders. However, if you will look at this one, let me make it just a little bit bigger. Ooh, there we go.
nice, good.
If you will look at this one under at, it has at the bottom, it has night and the weekend. And I have a problem with using at with weekend. Like, I am going at the weekend. No, I am going to the store at the weekend.
Okay.
I have a problem with that. So I thought that doesn't sound right to me. So I have looked it up and I did find that you can use at or on. Most people use the word on with weekend. I'm going to the store on the weekend.
On the weekend.
To me, that sounds better. When I think another one of these has a couple of sentences that has the weekend with it. And I just had to look it up because I just thought it didn't sound right. But I thought, well, there it is in black and white. It says you use at with the weekend. But when I did look it up, it said you can use either, and that most people say on the weekend, not at the weekend.
Yeah.
So either one would be correct. But I just think it sounds better on the weekend. I don't know if this one had a, yeah, here it is. What do you usually do at the weekend? To me, that doesn't sound right. What do you usually do on the weekend?
On the weekend?
Yes. But either is correct. And I wanted to bring that out to you because it does say in one place, use with at, and then another one says use it with on. So rather than you being totally confused, you can say both. Okay, then we have another one. This one actually has a lot of prepositions, and we'll do it. We'll go over it last, maybe a week after next or something. These are all in, on, and at. Now this one, it actually has some sentences in it that says put in at, on, or in where necessary. Put an X where no preposition is necessary.
Okay.
And that's like, we often go out in the evenings. We often watch TV on Saturday mornings. What will you be doing on this Saturday evening, you could say, or you could say, what will you be doing this Saturday evening? Now, I would say, I would leave the preposition out. and you can do that. What will you be doing this Saturday evening? You don't have to have a preposition there. So some of those sentences are like that, that there does not have to be a preposition. Or you don't have to use a preposition. Here's another one that has several of the prepositions. And this one is back to in, at, and on. Now let's look at this one. I think this is the one I was going to let us do. Yeah. Whoops, that's too big. Why is it not moving?
Mhm.
Well, get it just a little bit smaller. Maybe.
Mhm.
There we go. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at this one and do a review. Norma, let's let you do the first one on the left-hand side. You're just going to choose the right preposition. They give you three choices, and all of them are in, on, and at. So all your choices are the same.
Okay.
Read the sentence and see if you can decide which
Yeah.
preposition.
Okay. My birthday is the 5 January. My birthday is on the 5th January.
Yes,
Mhm.
that is correct. My birthday is on. Okay. Pedro, do number 2.
My sister's birthday is on October.
In October. You're
In
going
October.
the general one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know I can't get both of those little, that other little thing up at the same time. But the this one is the general one. You're not being specific yet. It's like it's just saying the whole month of October. Now, if it had said my sister's birthday, it is on October the 26th, if it gave a specific date. Okay, that's the difference. So it's in if it's general, it's on if it's on that very day. Okay, number 3, Norma.
Number 3 is Peter starts school at 8:15 in the morning.
Yes. At is the first one, and in the morning is the second. Very good. Okay, number 4, Pedro.
Students don't have lesson in this week.
Okay, this is the one I just talked about, that it can be either or. It can be on or at. Either on the weekend, which is weekend is specific, is not specific. It's still general because the weekend consists of 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. So it's not specific as to what day. So you can say on or you can say at. Either one. I like on, but you can say whatever you want to. I don't care. But either is correct. Okay, number 5, Norma.
5 is cold at night.
It's cold at night. Yes, it is, and that is true. It is cold tonight. So.
Everything.
I was going to look at the temperature to see what temperature it is. Whoops, the wrong way. It is, well, it's 57. It's not cold yet, is it? But it's supposed to get down to 46. So it'll be chilly.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6. Is that where we are? Yeah, number 6, Pedro.
Is it snowy in winter?
Yes, it's snowy in winter. Winter is general, so it's in. Very good. Number 7, Norma.
Okay, we are open or give at Christmas.
At Christmas Day.
At Christmas
if
Day, yes.
yeah, okay. Now that's the clincher right there. If it
Yes.
had said just Christmas, it would have
Yes.
been at Christmas. But
Mhm.
it's saying Christmas Day, so we're going to be specific and say
Mhm.
on Christmas Day.
Okay.
That one's tricky.
Yes, it's on or at?
It is on.
Ah, okay.
On
On Christmas
on
Day.
is specific.
Okay.
It indicates a particular day. So it's going to be like on Christmas Day. Now, if it
Okay.
had just said Christmas and there wasn't day after, it just said we open our gifts blank Christmas,
Uh-huh.
it would be at
At
Christmas,
Christmas.
because
Okay.
at is giving a period of time, like years
Okay.
or months or whatever. And Christmas is, we usually think of it for several days in December. We don't, because you've got Christmas Eve and you've got Christmas Day.
Okay.
Why did we lose Pedro? Pedro, where did you go? He just disappeared.
It's the internet. The internet no.
Yes, so. I just like
Okay.
looked up and I thought, where did Pedro go?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Every time it says somebody disappeared. I don't know why. The internet. Okay, I want to try to do the 8 is I never go to school in the afternoon.
Yes. Whoops.
Mhm.
Uh-oh, I hit the wrong thing. Oops. Oops, I can't get it all. There we go.
What happened?
Yes, I never go to school in the afternoon. That is correct.
Okay.
Afternoon is not
Yeah.
specific, it's general.
Uh-huh.
Number 9.
Number 9 is we dye eggs on Easter. At Easter. No, it's in Easter. It's at Easter.
At Easter, yes, at, because it's not specific.
It's not specific.
Because it doesn't say on Easter. If it said on Easter Day or Easter Sunday, you would have said on Easter Sunday, but it just says Easter, so it would be
Okay.
at
the number
Easter. Well,
at
I
Easter.
did that again. What am I don't know what I'm clicking, but I'm not supposed, I don't need to be clicking it. Well, okay. Now, number 10.
Number 10 is in Halloween Day, we go trick or treat. In Halloween Day, at Halloween Day.
You can't, you're, here comes Pedro back. Let me let
Yeah.
him in. Hang on.
On Halloween
On
Day.
Halloween Day. It's being
Yes, it's
specific.
on
Talking about Halloween Day. Hey, Pedro,
Are you okay,
Sorry.
Pedro?
we lost you.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. We looked up and I said, hey, Pedro's gone. He's disappeared.
Yeah. I got a call from my sister.
Ooh.
Yeah. What's the next?
And the number
Okay.
8. Try to do the number 8.
Yes, number 8.
Okay. I never go to school, and in afternoon. In the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Yes, that is correct. In the afternoon. That is correct. Excuse me. Number 9, Norma.
We dye eggs at Easter.
Yes, we dye eggs at Easter because it doesn't say Easter Sunday. It just says at Easter time, just any time during Easter. Okay, number 10, Pedro.
Okay. In Halloween Day, we go trick or treat. Trick or treat.
Okay. In or on, did you say?
At Halloween.
At Halloween Day.
Yeah.
Now, if it had just said at Halloween, that would be correct. But it's saying at the specific
Halloween day.
day, Halloween day. So it's going to be on. On is specific. So it would be on Halloween day we go trick or treat.
Okay.
Okay. This is why we're reviewing it, because it is hard. It is very
It is.
hard.
Yes,
It is, yeah.
Last week it was hard. Who did I have on last week? Last week was Rami and Sonia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all weren't on there last week.
Yes.
And we did some a sheet of a review, and they were having a hard time with it and asked for more review. I said, okay, I'll keep coming up with sheets. Y'all just do them. So, okay. Fill in the blanks with the correct preposition. Number one, where do I get to? Oh, it's
Number
back
one.
to normal, right? Okay.
Can't you call me at night? O'clock, please. What night?
At 9. Okay. Yes. At 9 o'clock.
At night.
Or whatever time. It should say o'clock. I don't know why it doesn't. Okay. All right. Number 2, Pedro.
Can we meet on Saturday?
Very good. Okay. We're going to meet on Saturday. We don't have a specific time. So that use on. Perfect. Number 3. Norma?
I will be back at 5. I will be back at 5.
At 5. Yes,
5.
we're being specific, and we use at the specific time. Number 4, Pedro.
She got married on 2010.
Are we being specific? This is talking about a long period of time. It's like the whole year of 2010.
So
like she got married.
So in.
Yes. Very good. It will be in, because it's the long period of time. It's not being specific. Very good.
Okay.
Number 5, Norma.
My family always comes to stay at Christmas.
Yes, at Christmas. You're not being specific.
Yes.
It doesn't say Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. It just says at Christmas. Very good. Number 6, Pedro.
See you on Monday.
Right. See you on Monday. We're not being real specific, just on Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Number 7, Norma.
Let's go to the cinema. And Sunday afternoon.
Yes, on Sunday afternoon. Being a little bit specific there. You're saying it's going to be in the afternoon. You're not saying a specific time like for at, but you're being a little bit more specific. It's in the afternoon, so that would be on. Perfect. Let's see where we are. Number 8, Pedro.
I always visit my grandparents on the weekends.
Yes, on the weekend. I would count it correct if you put at. This is the one that you can use on or at. I prefer on, but number 9.
Number 9, she never goes out at night.
Yes, it's being specific. She's is talking about nights, not night or day. So it's night. Number 10, Pedro.
Peter always reads the newspapers in the evening.
Yes, in the evening. Not quite as specific. It's not giving a specific time. It just says in the evening. Number 11, Norma.
My father starts works at the 9:30.
Yes. Giving a specific time. My father starts work at 9:30. Number 12, Pedro.
I visit Brazil on 2001.
It's
In.
being the indefinite period of time.
In.
And it's giving the whole year of 2001. So it could be
Don't say
any
month,
time in that year.
day.
So it would be in
In.
2001.
So that's general.
Yes, in is general. If
So
it,
no specific month, no specific day, and no specific season.
right.
Yes.
It's kind of like that diagram was, where it went
Mhm.
from general to more specific to very specific.
Mhm.
And if you kind of go by that,
Oh my God.
let me get that. Let me pop it back up here real quick. If you use, well, if you use this to go by and kind of remember it in your head, like in is for general.
Yeah.
I mean, you can jot this down somewhere. In is general, centuries, decades, years, months, weeks. If you're getting I didn't talk about the location, country, neighborhood, city. It's just very general for in. On you see the triangle gets a little bit smaller, so it gets a little more specific. It's talking about the days, weekend, or time, street and avenue, being a little bit more specific, but still not very specific, just a little more specific. Okay, when your triangle goes down to the little tiny point at the end, that's when you're very specific. You're going to talk about the hour. Let's meet at 12 o'clock. You're going to talk about your specific address. I live at 32 Main Street. So if you'll draw that triangle and put those marks in there and put in, on, and at, you can remember that. I mean, that'll be kind of a help to help you remember. The general, the more specific, and then the very specific. That helps me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You got that? Can I take it off now, or do you need to look at it some more?
Yeah, I got now. So.
You still copying, Norma?
Yes. I try to do something, for example, I try to do with I live in Springfield City. I live in Springfield Country. I live in Springfield neighborhood. If I use on, I say I live in Gulfview Street. But I don't say number. Say right. If I say number, I say I live in 323 Gulfview Lane. I say I live in 323 Gulfview Lane. Yeah, right. Just at.
Yes. That to me is the biggest of all the different things of helps. That seems to be the biggest help, using that triangle and at the top where it's big, it talks about being general or being bigger. Talking about, I live in the United States. Well, that's pretty big, huh? And the middle part of it, narrowing down to street or avenue. I live on Runnymede Drive. Well, there's several houses over here where I live on Runnymede Drive, so you wouldn't know what my house was. So I'm not telling you very much by just saying Runnymede Drive. But if I tell you I live at 101 Runnymede Drive, then I'm being very specific. I'm telling you exactly where my house is at. So, okay.
Okay.
Everybody through copying?
Yeah, got them.
Yes, I got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Right.
I tried to do my copy, but it was a small one. My copy printer not working very well, but well.
Oh, well, hey, that's okay. That's okay.
Yes, okay.
All right, let me get back over here, and I was going to do one more preposition page. Let me see what that was. I copied mine off too. I think it was this one.
Common preposition.
Oh yeah, it was this one. Let's see. Let me find it. This is the one we'll do. Well, there it is. There we go. All right. This is, and this gives a little bit of a idea at the top, a little reminder of the in, on, and at.
Mhm.
However, this is the one that says at says the weekend. If you'll see right there at the on this green whatever that is, a triangle, it says to use at the weekend. And that's when I got confused and had to go to Google and say, hey, Google, help me out here. So, so you can use, if you want, if you've printed them out and you want to mark or just write on there, on is used more than at, or just, you know, can use on or whatever. Okay, this first activity is a paragraph.
Mhm.
And you're going to use the prepositions in, on, and at. I'm going to read the paragraph. You all tell me what, when I'll stop and you tell me what the preposition goes in the blank.
Okay.
My father's name is Jack. He is a math teacher in an elementary school.
At the
Blank.
mornings.
In the
At the
morning.
mornings.
In the mornings, yes. He usually gets up at
Okay.
Yeah.
I just told you, didn't I? At 6:30. But this is only
On weekends.
right on weekdays because
at the weekend.
Because
okay, you
in
can
the,
say
in the
at
weekend,
the weekend or
at the
on the
weekend.
weekend. He gets up later.
Uh-huh.
Blank
on
Tuesdays
on
and
Tuesday,
Thursdays.
On Tuesday.
on Tuesday and Thursdays.
Yes. He has
Has
lunch in the school.
At 12:30
Yes.
because he has lesson but in the morning and in the afternoon.
Yes. Both of those are in because it's in the
Yeah.
morning and in the afternoon.
The other day he finished work at midnight.
At the
Midday.
At midday, yes.
Yeah.
At midnight. Midday. At midday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So he comes
home for lunch.
He
He
sometimes
corrects
exercise in the evening.
On the evening.
At the evening after dinner. Yeah.
At the or on the
in the evenings.
in
Yeah.
the evening.
In right here, parts of the day, morning,
Mhm.
afternoon, and evening. So it's in
The
the
evenings
evening.
after dinner.
My
My
father
has his summer holidays
on August.
on August.
Is it being specific?
On August.
Yeah. It's for
in
August. In August.
When we use the months, we're using in because
Yeah,
that's
in
not
August.
specific.
August. Yeah, okay.
Remember, at is your specific. At is your very specific. Okay. So in August.
But he also has a 2 weeks holiday.
On Christmas.
On Christmas. At Christmas. On Christmas. On Christmas.
On Christmas because don't have date.
Yes.
Okay.
And
If it said Christmas Day, it would be specific.
Yeah.
Christmas.
But it just says Christmas. So we don't know if it's Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Yes.
So it's not quite as specific. So it's going to be
At.
correct?
Mhm. At Christmas.
Okay.
And 1 week holiday at Easter.
Okay. All
At
right.
Easter.
Yes. He has
He has
a
a
difficult
difficult
job,
job,
but he
but
loves
he
it.
love it.
All right. Very good. This is hard. Okay, we'll do this part and then we'll do something. We'll do this bottom part and then we're going to look at some sentence structure. Okay, I don't want to wear you out on in, at, and on
Yes.
all night. All right, number one. Now here's that weekend one, can be either of two. Number one, Pedro.
What do you usually do on the weekend?
Yes, on the weekend. Number two, Norma.
Number 2, my father doesn't work on Saturdays.
The
Saturdays.
On Saturdays, yes. Number three, Pedro.
the film starts at 11 p.m. and finishes on spring.
Midnight.
On spring.
No,
It's midnight.
midnight. Did
Uh,
it pull down?
I can see. Oh yeah, I can see that.
Oh, okay.
It was your screen over there.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Do
Yeah,
I need to
that's
make
fine.
it smaller?
No,
Is
that's
that
fine.
better?
Big
Yeah.
one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the finishes at midnight.
Yes, that is correct. 11 p.m. and midnight are specific times.
Yeah.
Okay. 4. Norma.
Okay. 4 is on the spring. My garden is full of flowers. In
Okay.
spring.
In spring, my garden is full of flowers. It's not specific, just sometime in the
Yes.
spring, in March, April, somewhere like that. Very good. Number 5, Pedro.
William Shakespeare was born in 1564.
Yes, that is correct. He was born sometime that year, so it's not specific when he was born. Okay. Number 6.
My mom's birthday is on the 5th of May.
Okay. It's on the 5th of May, so it's specific what day in May it is. Okay. Number 7.
Our office is our office is closed in August.
Yes. In August. Number 8.
There are a lot of the stars in the sky at night.
Yes. Number 9.
In Christmas Day. At Christmas Day. Yes. I know I do.
Did it all go together?
Number 9. Yeah, I know it's nice. It's A is there are a lot of stars in the sky at night, but number 9 I think was together.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
I know
okay.
it does different when you have your phones and different size things.
Yes.
It does
No,
craziness. Yeah.
I see why, because I use the computer. Pero,
Okay. Well, let's go to number 9 now.
Christmas Day.
At Christmas Day, children usually receive a lot of presents.
Oh, I wish.
Okay, we're being specific. So on Christmas Day, children usually receive lots of presents. Okay, number 10.
Number 10, I never go home at lunchtime.
Okay. Number 11, Pedro.
My best friend always plans me.
It phones me.
Blames me on the evening.
In the
Calls
evening.
me.
In the evening.
Always phones me in the evening or calls me. I don't know why they
Yeah.
put phones in there. I always say calls me, not phones me. Okay, number 12.
Number 12 is my birthday. I always have a big party.
Yes, on my birthday. That's specific. Okay.
On
Number
my birthday.
13.
My family sometimes goes. My gatos goes
Skiing.
sighting.
Skiing like
Skiing.
snow skiing.
Oh yeah,
Skiing.
skiing.
I don't know what that. But okay. For a week. On Christmas.
Okay, the skiing, is that what you didn't know what it was?
No.
This one. Okay, like
Oh, the
uh,
skiing. When you got on the slides on the.
you got those wooden things on your feet and then those poles,
Yeah.
and you push off and you ski down the hill.
Yeah.
And I would break a leg if I did it. So I'm never going to do that. So
I want to
yeah,
try.
that's what it is. Sometimes go skiing for a week at
Mhm.
Christmas. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Number 14.
I love reading in bed on Sunday mornings.
Okay. Very good. All right. That's all of those we're going to do tonight because I don't want to wear you out with them. We'll do some more when we come back after, I was going to say after Christmas, after, not that far, after Thanksgiving. I'll save a couple of them for then. And we'll do some more review. If you want to look over them and go ahead and do them, you're welcome to. Next thing we're going to look at, this is going to help us with, well, why did I stop share? I didn't want to stop sharing. Let me get back over here. I wanted to X that off. That's what I wanted to do. And go back to here. Next thing we're going to talk about is sentence structure. And when we have there's, I'm going to show you two different things. This first chart, ooh, I didn't mean to make it that big. This first chart on sentence structure talks about 3 types of sentences. When we're writing a sentence, we can do 3 types. Actually, there's 4, and we'll add that 4th one as soon as we talk about these, because these have some good examples. So I wanted to go over them. So if you're going to write a sentence, and you're going to write a simple little sentence, that sentence is going to contain a subject and a predicate, and it's going to express a complete thought. You're going to, that one sentence you can read and you know everything about it. It's totally complete. Now look at the examples. The boys went to the park. That's a very simple sentence. What's the subject in there, in that sentence?
The boys.
The boy.
The boys. That is correct. What's the predicate part?
Went to the park.
Went to the park. That is correct. All right. The second example is we like pizza. Now that's a very simple sentence. What's the subject?
We
What's the predicate?
Like pizza.
like pizza.
Yes, very good. Okay, a simple sentence is also called an independent clause. That means that sentence is perfect just like it is. It has a subject and a predicate. It has a noun, a verb, an object. So it's a complete sentence on its own. Yeah. So it's called an independent clause, meaning it stands alone by itself. It's very independent. Okay, that's the first sentence you can write. Now we get a little bit more complicated. We're going to write a compound sentence. A compound sentence contains two or more independent clauses, which means it would be two or more simple sentences. And those independent clauses or simple sentences are joined together by a conjunction. And if you'll look at the bottom there, it says under tips, your conjunctions are for, and, but, yet. There are several other conjunctions that you can use to put two sentences together. But a compound sentence is two or more independent clauses or complete sentences joined together by a conjunction. Okay, look at the examples.
Okay.
The first one says, the boys went to the park, comma, but is the conjunction. They did not go to the zoo. Now, both of those, the first part, the boys went to the park, is a complete sentence, isn't it? It has a subject. What's the subject?
The boys
The boys. What's the predicate?
went to the park.
Okay. All right. The second phrase or the second clause is a complete sentence also. What's the subject?
They did not go to the zoo.
Okay. They is the subject and the predicate is did not
go to the zoo.
Yes, that is correct. Now, those are two complete clauses or sentences, and they're put together with a conjunction.
Conjunctions.
Okay. Look at the second one. We like pizza and we like spaghetti. There's two sentences there.
Yeah.
We like pizza. What's the subject?
We
Okay. What's the predicate?
Like pizza.
Like pizza, yes. Here's the second sentence is we like spaghetti.
We like spaghetti.
What's the subject?
We
And predicate?
like spaghetti.
Like spaghetti.
Like spaghetti. So you've got two sentences or independent clauses is what they're calling them. And this one is put together with the conjunction and. And remember, there's always a comma after that first sentence or before the conjunction. Okay. And then this just tells you some of the conjunctions that can be used that are more commonly used. More commonly is for, and, nor, but, or yet. There's some others, but these are the most used ones. Okay. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now we get a little bit more complex, I guess we'll say, because it's going to be a complex sentence. Okay. The next sentence you can write is called a complex sentence. A complex sentence contains an independent, well, I cannot talk. I can't read. I'm sorry. Contains an independent clause and a dependent clause. Now, what's an independent clause?
The boys went to the park.
Is okay, and that's a complete sentence, right? So an independent clause is a complete sentence. Okay, so what's a dependent clause? A dependent clause begins with a subordinating conjunction, and we'll see what that is down here. But you're going to have one sentence that is independent and one that is dependent. Now look at your first sentence. Because the boys went to the park, they did not go to the zoo.
That's the reason why they didn't go to the zoo.
What? What'd you say?
The reason why they didn't go to the zoo, because the boys went to the park.
Right, because the boys went to the park. Yes. Now, Because the boys went to the park is not a complete sentence, is it? Because the boys went to the park. Does that really tell you anything without the other part of the sentence, the main sentence? The main independent clause is they did not go to the zoo. That tells you the boys did not go to the zoo, or they did not go to the zoo. Because the boys went to the park. Doesn't really tell you. If I walked up to you and if I walked up to Norma and said, because the boys went to the park, would that make any sense to you?
It's because the boys went to the park. They didn't.
Okay. But if I walked up to you and said, they did not go to the zoo, then that would make sense to you. And you would probably say, why? And then I would say, because they went to the park.
The park is not probably they went to the zoo because they don't go in the same time in the other place.
Yes. Okay. Now the second sentence, the boys did not go to the zoo because they went to the park. All we're doing is reversing it. It can be done either way. Now, if you're doing the clause, the sentence first, like in this one, the boys did not go to the zoo because they went to the park. If you're putting this clause at the beginning, like in this sentence, you're going to have to put a comma. Because the boys went to the zoo.
Yeah, they don't use the comma in the second one. In the first one, they use in the park. They
just
put the
in
phrase.
The first one.
But the second one, they don't use the comma.
Right.
Because they have because.
Right.
When you say because, you short the phrase. You cut the phrase. The boys did not go to the zoo because they went to the park.
Right. That's that's kind of a complete sentence. It's not a phrase. However, it is the because they went to the park in both sentences is dependent on this clause. They did not go to the zoo. Because if you didn't have this sentence, they did not go to the zoo, because the boys went to the park would not make any sense. Like I said, if I walked up to Pedro and said, because the boys went to the park, you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? But if I walked up to you and said, the boys did not go to the zoo, that's a complete sentence. It makes sense to you. It would make enough sense that you would probably say back to me, well, why? Why didn't they go to the zoo? And then I would say the boys went to the park. But this is just saying it all in one sentence. In the tip down here, it says, look for these subordinating conjunctions is what they call them. Now, these short ones over here were just called conjunctions. These are called subordinating conjunctions. After, before, because, although, when, since, if, whenever, unless, while, so, that, even though, wherever. Okay. All right. Now, these are the first three types of sentences you can write. Now, there's also a fourth type of sentence. Well, that's not it. Hang on. There it is. Yeah. Okay, we talked about the simple sentence, the independent clause. I kicked the ball. Just one simple sentence. We talked about the compound sentence that had two or more independent clauses where there were two complete sentences put together with a conjunction. I kicked the ball and it hit Tom.
Okay.
Both of these are complete sentences and they're put together with and, the conjunction. We just talked about the complex sentence where you've got one independent clause and you've got one or more dependent clauses. Like this one says, Tom cried because the ball hit him. Okay. Tom cried is a simple sentence. Because the ball hit him is not a complete sentence. It's dependent on the sentence Tom cried. If I walked up to you and said, because the ball hit him, would that mean anything to you? No. If I walked up to you and said, Tom cried, that's a sentence. You know that Tom cried, but you don't know why. So you would ask me why. Okay. All right. So it's an independent clause with one or more dependent clauses. This clause, because the ball hit him, depends on Tom cried. Okay. This next one is a compound, complex. It's a little bit more complex. Okay. Two or more independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. Okay. So if you've got to have at least two independent clauses or two complete sentences. Now let's find the complete sentences. Let me read the whole sentence. Tom cried because the ball hit him and I apologized immediately. Okay, what are the two complete sentences or independent clauses in that whole long sentence?
Tom cried.
Tom cried is one sentence. What's the other one?
Because the ball hit him.
No, that's not a complete sentence.
I apologized immediately.
Yes, I apologized immediately. They're in yellow. They're highlighted in yellow. Tom cried and I apologized immediately. That's two whole sentences. Now you've got two whole sentences and you've got an independent clause. I mean, a dependent clause because the ball hit him. It's the same thing. If I walked up to you and said, because the ball hit him, doesn't make sense. It's not a complete sentence. If I walked up to you and said, Tom cried, it makes a complete sentence. If I walked up to you and said, I apologized immediately, that's a complete sentence because you're going to ask me, you're going to know that there was something wrong. Tom cried and I apologized for something. Now, they are connected with a conjunction. So we've got two complete sentences and a independent clause. So you've got two independent clauses or complete sentences. An independent clause is a complete sentence. They're one and the same. Okay. A dependent clause is not a complete sentence. It depends on the sentence that it's with to get meaning. Okay, does that make sense? We'll review this again next week. I know this is probably the first time have y'all studied any of this before?
The first one, the second, and third is good, but the fourth is a little bit complicated.
It is very complicated.
Yes, a little. The first one, second, and third is okay, but the fourth, we need practice. Yeah, we need practice for that.
Yeah, read over it by Nick. We'll go over it again. I just wanted to show you these and let you look at them. This, to me, this is, I wish they'd have done the last one like this one too, because it's a little bit easier to see. This is another way of putting it too. I put this one in here. It's different. It talks about the different sentences you can write. There is a sentence type called minor. It's a one-word sentence with no verb, nothing like that. It's just a one word. Like sometimes you may be reading a book and it'll just say terrified, or it may say help. Just a one-word sentence. and it's called a minor.
Mhm.
There's also the simple sentence that we talked about that contains the subject, a verb, like Molly ran, and it'll have a subject and a predicate. It'll have a verb in there. So this is a simple sentence. Molly ran home. And then we talked about the compound sentence, the two simple sentences joined by a conjunction. Molly ran home and she ate her dinner. Those are two completely different sentences, right?
Right.
And then it gets a little harder, the complex sentence. This is the main clause and a subordinate clause. These are different words, but if you look back at the meaning on the other page, it's going to be the main clause is going to be a sentence. The subordinate is the dependent. Although she wasn't hungry, Molly ate her dinner. The complete sentence is Molly ate her dinner. The clause is although she wasn't hungry. The same thing, like if I walked up to you and said, although she wasn't hungry, that would not make any sense to you.
No.
If I walked up to you and said, Molly ate her dinner, that would make sense, wouldn't it? That's a complete sentence. So the complex has a complete sentence or a independent clause and a dependent clause. Now, a declarative sentence is where you're making declaring something or stating something that's a fact, like I'm hungry. You're declaring that you're hungry. I'm sleepy. I'm crazy. Whatever.
Tired.
You're declaring something and making a statement, and it's called a declarative statement. Okay. Interrogative, that just means you're asking a question.
Okay.
An interrogative statement is a question, like, are you hungry? Are you sick? Are you feeling okay? Are you going to the store? All of those are questions, and they're called interrogative. Imperative. Right, giving an order or command. And I love this one. Did you see it's got President Trump down here saying, make your
I want to make the question, why this?
Yeah, it says, make your writing great again.
Okay, make your writing.
Yeah, make your writing great again. So he's helping you get your writing great again. So I thought that was cute. So, but imperative is giving an order or a command, like stop talking, be quiet, go to sleep. Like when you're mad at your kids and you're making an order or a command or telling somebody to do something. Okay. Now, we're not going to go over all this varying sentence structure because right now it doesn't make any difference. We want to know how to do, we'll do this later maybe, but right now we want to know the sentence types, what they are made up of, and that's all we're going to worry about. We're just not going to worry about that purple part. Even though purple's my favorite color, we're not going to worry about it. Okay, I thought that had one more with it. Well, where'd it go? Well, there it is. Now, after you understand all of this, there's a little quiz.
Okay.
And and we'll work on this in class after Thanksgiving. We're not going to do it tonight because it's a little bit long and it's after 8 o'clock. So I'm going to let y'all go for the night. But this will be several sentences in here, and we're going to decide what type they are. Are they a simple sentence, a compound sentence, a complex sentence, or a compound complex sentence? And this kind of gives you a review of what they are, or how the sentences are made up. The simple sentence is just a regular sentence, and it kind of gives you, and you can refer back to the other. Okay. Any questions? Tonight was all new at this end, wasn't it?
Yes,
That
yes, new one.
I think it tonight was hard class.
I'm sorry I made it hard.
No, it's a little bit hard because
No,
it's
that's
new
fine.
one.
That's fine. That's fine. We are learning more.
It's good. We will learn. Yeah.
Well, and don't think you have to learn this all in one night. I mean, we'll keep talking about this. We'll write sentences. We'll look at more examples of those kinds of sentences. And starting to do this, we'll do this during December. I think I told Pedro before you came on, Norma, we'll do, in December, we'll do a half a lesson of in our book, and the other half we're going to do on sentences and sentence structure. Then in January, we're going to start putting these sentences together into paragraphs. And I have a whole unit on how to write a paragraph. It gives all kinds of directions and things like that will help us, you know, write a good paragraph. But we got to learn how to write sentences first.
Yeah.
So
This is the reason why we start to learn the simple, compound, and complex sentence. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Once we learn that, we'll be ready to write our paragraphs. So, and some of this stuff I'm having to relearn because I haven't had some of this, what these things were called since high school. So I'm relearning some of this stuff with you all too. So, if I make a mess, I'll get it fixed for you. Okay. Any questions? You got your email, right, Norma?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I got you. Yes, I got it.
Okay. Pedro, did you get your email with these on it?
I think I got to.
Yeah, there you should have one. I sent one out this morning. I don't know, sometime today.
Yeah.
I sent one out that should have it. So just kind of read over it. We won't, like I said, we won't have class next week, but we will. We'll be back on December the 3rd, whatever that. Third, I know.
And this week we have Thanksgiving.
I know. Next week will be Thanksgiving. So y'all have a wonderful week off. And
you too.
it's going to be a different Thanksgiving. We won't get to have all of our families. Some of us won't. So for us. So my families aren't, all of my family's not coming down because some are coming from, would be coming from Kentucky and some from Alabama, and we just didn't feel that was very safe. So we're not doing that this year.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year will be better.
Yeah.
And I miss making Thanksgiving lunch or dinner for you all. We would be having that tonight. We'd be having our Thanksgiving meal at Springfield Baptist.
Yeah. Yes, we miss you. We
Yes,
miss
I
all
miss
food.
yeah,
All plates.
yes.
Teacher.
I know.
when?
I miss
Not
that.
now.
Hopefully next year it'll all be back to normal.
Yeah,
so.
maybe.
Okay.
Pray for that.
All right.
Yeah, we will pray for that.
Well, we will see you in December then, okay?
Yes.
December 3rd, you said, right?
December 3rd. I believe that is correct. We will see everybody. Okay. You all have a good week off.
Okay, do the
You
same.
too.
Bye.
Okay.
Good night.
See ya.
God bless you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.